Hello everyone, and welcome to South Coast Focus. My name is Pablo Piñones, and we have a terrific show for you guys here today. First, we're going to be diving deep into one man's pursuit of cinematography as he navigates the world of content creation after attending Saddleback College. Next, we will hear a performance live from Nathan Esch playing a song from his hit album, Chiaroscuro. And finally, we will be showcasing one Australian woman's search to find belonging as an immigrant in America through her love of surfing. Saddleback College has helped many students gain the experience and skills needed to join the film industry. The Cinema, Television, Radio program, better known as CTVR, has 150 students earning certificates and degrees trying to find success after leaving college. They've been providing these resources for years. Many students transfer or find work for hire, sacrificing some of their creative freedom for success. However, some students take a different trajectory and pursue their creative outlet independently, using their uniqueness as the main selling point of their art. One student accomplished this, and his name is Mario Rivera. Here, take a look.
Mario Rivera is an independent social media content creator and Saddleback alumni. He is currently posting his unique style of content on social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram,
And then we're
and
starting
YouTube.
on 3, right?
He specializes in making music videos that involve new trends, professional cinematography, and high-quality editing. After graduating high school, he made the decision to enroll in Saddleback. Being a student at Saddleback, Mario had resources and opportunities available to him that allowed him to hone his creative and technical skills.
In this case, when I was there, I did everything from editing, cinematography, and those were the two that I was really comfortable with leaving Saddleback, so I really emphasized on those and just put it into all of my work moving
He
forward.
utilized Saddleback's CTVR department to gain a wider understanding of cinematography. With this experience and his raw talent, Mario was able to reach new heights in the production value of his videos. As he continued to pursue his passions, the content Mario posted on social media reflected his interests. Many of the videos Mario produced honored Mexican culture. Mario is deeply connected to his family and his friends. He is devoted to the grind of crafting videos that are able to bring together his love of music, his culture, and his close friends.
Growing up, I was always family oriented, and me and my sisters growing up, we always shared one room, and seeing my older sisters and my mother be super driven, to get up to go work every day and just stay consistent with what they had to get done. I was like a visual learner as opposed to just people telling me what to do. So seeing that every single day to the point where I was like 18 really like embedded the fact that if I really wanted to do something and achieve it, I had to work at it no matter what.
As a result of all this hard work, Mario was offered an opportunity to work with one of his idols, the indie musician Cuco. Not only is Cuco an artist who is deeply connected to his Mexican-American culture, but he is also very creative, and Mario's filming style resonated with him. He was invited to 2 of his concerts and spent a day filming music videos featuring Cuco's music.
The reason why they hit us up is because they saw the consistency and they saw that our vision aligned with his vision in terms of aesthetics and just overall music to visual output. The day came to film, and honestly, we just had really good chemistry with each other, and we just bounced back and forth with his team and my team, and we spent the whole day with him in Los Angeles, put all of our minds together to produce visuals for the album.
The skills Mario learned from Saddleback, as well as his dedication and consistency towards his social media output, made it possible for him to receive these opportunities from successful artists. Mario is currently still writing, filming, starring, and editing content on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube every single week. And this is just the beginning for Mario Rivera's journey.
Thank you, Mario, for that look into the world of Saddleback filmmaking. If you want to see more film and music-related content from Mario, check out his TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram. There's a treasure trove of entertaining and creative material featuring great music. Speaking of great music, let's continue with a performance from one of Saddleback's very own, Nathan Esch. Nathan is the frontman of his own band, Transcend All Negative Energy, sometimes referred to as TANE, based out of Orange County. The band has been blending psychedelic tinged pop with progressive rock riffs since early 2015. The Power Trio released its debut full-length self-titled album in November 2018. Today, Nathan will be playing an acoustic cover of a song from his band's 2017 EP, Chiaroscuro, Go With The Flow.
just photos after all. I can't make you hang around. I can't wash you off my skin. Outside the frame, it's what we're leaving out. You won't remember anyway. I can go with the flow. Don't say it doesn't matter anymore. I can go with the flow. Do you believe it in your head? It's so safe to play along. Little soldiers in a row, falling in and out of love. Oh, something sweet to throw away. Well, I want something good to die for, to make it beautiful to live. I want a new mistake, loses more than hesitate. You believe it in your head. I can go with the flow. Don't say it doesn't matter anymore. I can go with the flow. Do you believe it in your head? Do you believe it in your head? Do you believe it in your head? Oh,
Wow, that was Nathan Esch performing Go With The Flow. I love the upbeat energy of that song. If you want to hear more from Nathan and his band, make sure to check out the songs and albums of Transcend All Negative Energy on Spotify or Apple Music, and follow them on Instagram at Transcend Negative Energy. Surfing is practiced in over 100 countries, and for many, it's the bridge between culture and identity. For many, surfing is more than a sport. It is a calling. Surfing is one of the oldest sports on earth, and people who participate in it find a sense of belonging just being a part of a community of people that understand each other and the world around them. Emma Walters is among those dedicated to that very own sport, and her story is one of perseverance and connection.
Emma Walters is a professional surfer who moved from Australia to the United States at a young age. Emma learned how to surf when she was 5 from her father. Surfing is a family tradition that has been passed down to her.
I just remember like catching my first wave, and like it was horrible. Like it took me forever to come up, but I just remember feeling like I want to do this every single day.
Her immediate gravitation to the sport led to her dedicating much of her free time to honing her skills. Ever since she has devoted about 8 hours a week to surfing, before a surf session, she sets intentions for what she hopes to accomplish. She'll decide approximately how many waves to catch and what skills to practice, such as combos, right and left turns, or snaps. She deepened her skill set when competing in surf competitions. Having placed in 8 competitions, she maintained a healthy mindset in order to succeed in, and at times, an overwhelming environment.
Instead of thinking how I did before, where it's like, no, I have to win, I have to do this. But I just went out there and I was like, like, I'm just gonna surf. Like, I'm just gonna have fun.
At 11 years old, Emma's family packed up and moved to Lake Forest, California. Her mother, originally from America, wanted to pursue job opportunities in the States, leaving her friends and all things familiar behind in Australia.
Yeah, moving here was a huge difference, just with like accent, obviously, and the way people acted was very, very different. And even just the surfing culture was really different.
One thing she was able to take with her was surfing, but the vastly different surfing community in the US as opposed to Australia quickly became a challenge. The camaraderie that she experienced on Australian beaches had been replaced with a far more competitive atmosphere. There was a sentiment in America that you have to be of a certain skill level in order to drop in on waves and occupy the beach, while in Australia, there was a more open and welcoming community for surfers ranging from novice to more experienced. Furthermore, the United States seemed to have more of a bias against female surfers that she was not accustomed to in Australia. But these were not the only hardships that she faced.
Just coming from somewhere else, like I was foreign to a lot of it, and they just looked down on me a lot of the time, so I really had to earn my stripes.
Through this perseverance, Emma learned many valuable lessons from the sport. It teaches patience through waiting for waves. One can be sitting out for 30 minutes waiting for the right wave. It also teaches critical thinking and how to approach a wave and how to discern which waves to surf. But the activity is also taught her on an emotional level.
Surfing definitely allowed me to put this whole world behind me and realize like I am so small, and I just need to take it step by step.
Surfing functions as an emotional tie to Emma's home, connecting her through the water. Surfing allows her to feel like Australia isn't so far away. But beyond these therapeutic benefits, surfing can be a spiritually grounding experience.
I feel hypnotized. Like it's crazy. It's this natural high that I've never gotten from anything else. Instead of trying to get as many turns as I can in one wave, it's just like, let's paint this picture and let's see what the wave wants me to do rather than what I want to do. Just going with Mother Nature.
Emma is still surfing and competing in tournaments today. She continues to be an avid beachgoer and frequents T Street and other popular beaches in Orange County and throughout Southern California. She also regularly visits where she grew up in Australia, and her roots from that country remain an important part of her identity, such as deep care for the environment. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed South Coast Focus this week. I know I did. I certainly got more insight into what the grind to work as a content creator after college is like, as we saw with Mario, and we learned about the hard work that goes into being an avid surfer like Emma. And Nathan graced us with his beautiful musical talent. It's so inspiring to see people pursue their passion. I'm your host, Pablo Piñones, and we'll see you next time here on South Coast Focus to share more local. Good night, everybody.
South Coast Focus. I'm Zeke Sapp. Today we'll be spotlighting the specialties of a few Orange County residents. We'll be looking at a car videographer, tune into a music cover, and finally we'll hear about a multilingual content creator with over 20,000 followers. Living in Orange County can shape even things we are most passionate about. For one, OC's car culture draws many people to the scene. The area is known for huge meets like Cars and Coffee, an event that attracts up to 3,000 vehicles weekly. And the car scene also has a historical and cultural importance. For instance, when lowriders, a car associated with the Chicano community, were previously banned, we witnessed culture being criminalized. Despite targeted regulations, the community resists. Emily Pham is among many who aim to capture this resilient scene. Check it out.
Meet Emily Pham. She's 21 years old and a freelance car videographer. Emily's story didn't start with a camera. Long before she ever picked up gear, she was drawn to the thrill of a drive. Her passion for cars began when she watched Speed Racer at around 5 years old.
I was like, wow, like this car stuff is so cool, and I love the adrenaline that came with it.
But her love of cars was sidelined as she went through school. In its place, something else would reveal itself as her new obsession.
In middle school, I watched a YouTube video called like my year 2017 Sam Colder, something like that. It was just a travel compilation video, and I thought it was so cool. And that day I was like, I'm gonna buy my first camera and I'm just gonna start. And that is literally the day that it started.
Every event, birthday party, or beach day with her friends, Emily was there with a camera in hand, capturing as much as she could.
I loved seeing all my friends like watch the video and they loved it, loved seeing themselves on screen, and they would always like comment.
That feeling of bringing joy to others through memories is what drove Emily's passion all the way to high school. Come senior year, she decided that filmmaking was exactly what she wanted to do.
Senior year of high school, I worked really hard on my application at Chapman.
She eventually got admitted into Chapman's less than 10% acceptance rate film program.
When I first got into Chapman and I opened the email, it was like the best day ever. And I was like, okay, woohoo, like I can finally go to film school now.
But it wasn't as easy as just going to Chapman for her. Emily was banking on financial aid to allow her to attend. Without its help, she wouldn't be able to afford it.
When I first opened the financial aid package with all the tuition breakdown, that's when I realized that I couldn't actually go and there wasn't going to be a way for me to go regardless of any sort of help.
Forced out of attending her dream school, she was heartbroken and unsure of what she wanted to do next.
I would see all my friends going to college away and I'm like, oh no, like I'm still back at home in the same place that I was.
Doubtful if being a filmmaker was still in the cards for her, and left with few options, she decided she needed to pivot. Emily applied to Saddleback to figure out what happens next.
It was a pretty hard transition to just go from being with people that I knew for so long and doing what I love to now kind of being on my own and being in community college. I basically had to start fresh. I was like, all right, I don't really know anyone that's still here. I kind of forced myself to want to talk to as many people as possible.
So, Emily set out on a mission. She would go to car meets with a camera and a positive attitude, ready to make conversation with anyone.
I just loved that there was a community with it and you could meet so many new people.
Emily began her work for free, driven by passion alone. The notebook sketches, the Instagram edits, and free shoots, they led to bigger projects, real clients, and a career built on consistency. She attributes her current success from that consistency in her first year. For her, trying everything was the key.
There was a lot of trial and error and putting out things that are probably not as good, but you still put them out. Yeah, it just got better over time.
And better the videos definitely became. Looking at her Instagram page now, she pulls in hundreds of thousands of views per video, with some posts amassing over 2 million. It wasn't only consistency that led her to fame either. She believes that to be successful, it's important to stand out, and there's one thing that she picked up from her high school film class that's stuck with her ever since.
And the biggest thing I learned was story is key, and as annoying as it was learning it back then, it's actually really important now when it comes to shooting anything. I feel like that's what makes me stand out is I have this foundation of film production and actual filmmaking.
Looking back, the hardest part wasn't learning cameras or finding work. It was pushing through the moments of fear and doubt.
When you're the most afraid, that's when you should put yourself out there. If you're scared of being critiqued, that's when you should be getting criticism, because you'll be surprised at how many people actually will look at your work and be like, wow, this is some good stuff. So definitely just put yourself out there.
Cars mean a lot more to OC residents than how fast they can go. They are integral to bringing people together from all walks of life. You can find Emily's videography at EmilyFam on Instagram with 2 Ps. If you're interested in going to car meets like Emily, why not check out Cars and Coffee? Visit southoccarsandcoffee.com for more information. Maybe cars aren't your thing, but there's still numerous ways to put yourself out there and opportunities for networking. We can all learn from Emily and her commitment to being proactive, resulting in success. Another important aspect of Southern California culture is the music we listen to. The music scene here is incredibly diverse, with countless household names originating from the area, one of these being Weezer. The band Weezer was formed in LA in 1992, began with River Cuomo and Patrick Wilson, the drummer, Matt Sharp is the bassist, and John Cropper as additional guitarist. Their first gig was a nightclub in Hollywood Boulevard. Pablo Piñones, another SoCal resident, will cover the Green album Island in the Sun. Check it out.
When you're on a holiday, you can't find the words to say. All the things that come to you and don't wanna feel it too. On an makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. When you're on a golden sea, you don't need no memories, just a place to call your own as we drift into the zone. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing and having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain. We'll run away together, we'll spend some time forever, we'll never feel bad anymore. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing and having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain. We'll run away together, we'll spend some time forever, we'll never feel bad anymore. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
Southern California is truly an entertainment hub. From Hollywood to Coachella to Disneyland to the Getty, we have it all. So how exactly did we achieve this creative prestige that the envy of practically the entire world? Why is SoCal considered the film capital? Well, sunny, mild weather and immense scenic variety in close proximity made it the ideal filming location for early cinema. Filmmakers moved to get away from the East Coast's Motion Picture Patents Company, which controlled patents and technology. They sought out freedom in the West Coast. Yet another element that factors into California's status as a hub of creativity is our diverse population. We have the highest Mexican, Vietnamese, Cambodian, and Filipino populations out of the entire US, just to name a few. Immigrants have long been the forefathers of creative industries. For example, they pioneered early American cinema, both in its production and audience. Since the medium was considered somehow lowbrow and therefore cheap and accessible. What's more, silent films didn't require a shared language. Let's take a look at one polyglot and how he's bridging the language gaps through memes and silent films.
This is David Bineta, a freshman at Saddleback College.
About like 6-7 years ago. I honestly couldn't tell you, but I began learning Japanese mainly because I was just interested in it. My grandma was polyglot, and she spoke like a good handful of languages. And so my mom, she encouraged it mostly. She's like, "Oh, you want to study Japanese? Oh yeah, go for it." So it was like a very encouraging space to begin with. And then the pandemic happened.
But his studying truly picked up during the COVID-19 lockdown. He started learning a variety of languages over the pandemic. He studied American Sign Language, Tagalog, German, and Arabic, along with Japanese, just to name a few.
Marhaban, ana ismi Difir, ana aishi fi California. Hola, me llamo David. Yo soy de California. Minasan konnichiwa, mi nombre es David desu. California shikin desu.
David reports that he has varying degrees of proficiency in reading and writing in the respective languages, but he's nowhere near the level of fluency that he is with Japanese. What he found enticing about Japanese is that it required him to start completely from scratch. No familiar alphabet, no cognates, an entirely different linguistic system.
So it's like, "Oh, can you please record a video for me?" "Oh, excuse me, sorry." So he's being really polite fit. So I run a page called Lingo Dave. I initially began making reels about how to learn Japanese, but they weren't really going anywhere. So I began translating reels that were going viral on Japanese Instagram into English, adding English subtitles to them. It's like, oh, am I in the frame? It's demasu. Nani tottendai? I was like, what the hell are you recording? What are you recording? What are you doing? And those went viral on English-speaking TikTok. And yeah, I amassed like 20,000 followers after doing this for a good like 5-6 months. So yeah, it's been a nice ride. 皆さんこんにちは、ピナイデビットです。サドバックの1年生の生物の専科です。
Besides the time and effort that David dedicated to improving his skill in the Japanese language, a critical part of his abilities come from actual immersion, which is an essential vehicle for actual fluency. The National Association of Education asserts immersion has numerous cognitive benefits and is an important tool for achievement in the academic setting. In high school, he was awarded a scholarship that would enable him to study abroad in Japan for a single semester. David did not take this opportunity for granted. He stayed in Saga, a rural town on the island of Kyushu. He stayed with a host family for a few months, familiarizing himself with daily life in Japan.
There is something really nice about being articulate in another language. That would be my aspiration, to like be articulate to a certain level in Japanese where I could just kind of go wherever with it. If I want to do stand-up comedy, say, I could do that. If I wanted to write something, I could do that. That's what I'd want to be able to do.
In 2024, David returned to Japan to visit friends he had made during his study abroad experience.
David's passion for language learning is inspiring. When it comes to managing a platform that seeks to bridge cultures like David's does, you have a great responsibility to filter misinformation and maintain authenticity. Even when David was approached for brand deals with AI startups, which would serve to monetize his content, he declined the offer. This kind of integrity is vital to genuine bridge building. You can't truly connect with people by working with more morally dubious companies for profit. The better we understand one another, the stronger our bond becomes, and the stronger Orange County becomes as a whole. Whether you broadcast the scene, perform music, or aspire to learn multiple languages, you are serving to strengthen Orange County as a whole. We have so many tools in our toolbox that allow us to understand. Many thanks to Emily Pham, Pablo Piñedes, and David Pineda, and thanks for watching South Coast Focus. I'm Zeke Sapp. Have a good one.
Oh, didn't see you there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's very rugged edition of South Coast Focus. I'm your host, Blake Stolba. This week's show is all about demonstrating the talents of an outdoorsman, fly fishing by the lake, guitar playing by the campfire, and practicing shooting among the trees. First, we're going to be focusing on Matt Ames's hobby of making his own lures for fly fishing and creating his own small business from it. Next, we'll check out a musical number by local singer-songwriter Nathan Esch. And finally, we'll check in with Steve Miles, a competitor in the sport of rifle shooting. The earliest recorded instance of using an artificial fly for fishing dates all the way back to the 2nd century in Rome. And you know what they say, when in Rome, you should go fly fishing. Today, fly fishing is incredibly popular with 8.1 million Americans participating in the hobby. There are lots of great places to fish in the Orange County area, so let's check in with Matt Ames, a local fisherman who makes his own flies, to learn more about this cool yet slightly niche topic.
Matt has been fishing for the last 16 years of his life. He has fished nearly every river, lake, pond, and beach in southern Orange County. A more recent addition to the hobby for him is fly fishing, which is a specialized form of fishing meant to replicate small insects on the surface of the water to lure fish. These insects usually resemble flies, hence the name of the lures and the sport itself.
Fishing for me is just my most favorite thing to do, and the most technical type of fishing and the hardest type of fishing is fly fishing. Fly fishing itself has so much that goes into it, and it's just a never-ending joy.
Although Matt is an extremely experienced fisherman, he does it purely for passion. He does not join competitions because, according to him, it takes away from his relaxation. He gets his satisfaction out of trying everything the hobby has to offer, from lobster diving to deep sea fishing. But he also explores other avenues. An extension of the fly fishing hobby itself is making your own flies, which involves a complicated weaving and tying process that utilizes many materials.
The materials that I use to tie flies are a lot of animal-based and stuff like that, but there is a lot of options of synthetic things, because back in the day you just use a lot of animals like rabbits and stuff and all these birds, and that's majority of what I use is animal-based stuff like feathers and fur.
In a world that is constantly industrializing and straying farther from the local business mindset, Matt explains to us that he believes that the flies he makes and that you can make yourself are going to be much higher in quality. He also spoke about the sentimental value of tying.
But the difference between a store-bought fly and a fly that you tie yourself is the rewarding aspect of it. Catching a fish on a fly that you made is so much more enjoyable and so much better than catching a fish on a store-bought fly, because it has a lot more meaning. It's got sentiment, it's got a lot more value.
Matt has been tying his own flies for a little over a year now, and within that time he has become so efficient and quick at the practice that he had to slow down his tying for us so he could help us understand the process and record what he was doing better.
That it just became a full-blown addiction for me immediately, and it's just over the years has turned into such when I get into something, I get into it the entire way.
Matt didn't just stop with making his own flies. He enjoys the process so much that he has even begun selling them to people using his Instagram account, Matt's Fly Box, where he can fully customize the flies to your liking. When we asked Matt if he saw himself making a full-scale business out of this, he told us that he did not. To him, selling his flies is not only a way to fund his hobby, but also as a way to inspire others to possibly do the same and draw more people to the sport and hobby itself.
There's never an end to the opportunities of what you can tie. So it's fun. It's rewarding. It's just the best part of it for me.
There aren't many hobbies or sports that can be more rewarding than fishing. And fly fishing enhances that experience with its extremely unique method of casting and how engaging it is to tie your own flies. Matt is living proof of that. Southern Orange County is home to so many creeks, rivers, and lakes to enjoy fishing on. But if you do decide to pick up the hobby, make sure you have your fishing license handy.
And we're back. Fly fishing sure sounds peaceful and fun. Instead of staying inside playing Fortnite, I might just go to one of the many beautiful lakes in Orange County to see what I can catch. If that video hooked you as much as it did me, make sure to check out Matt's Flybox on Instagram to see what he's up to now. Thanks, Matt. I hope you're all feeling musical because it's just about time to introduce our next guest. He plays in a psychedelic rock project called Transcend All Negative Energy. Nathan learned how to play guitar in the 6th grade, and he's been playing in bands since his high school years. He's released numerous songs across multiple albums, and today we're lucky enough to hear one of them. From his 2017 EP, Chiaroscuro, here is Nathan Esch performing his song, Hesitation Beach.
we should walk a different beach today. 'Cause the one we always go to is crawling with tourists. I wish I was that gorgeous, but they don't know about punk rock, and they just look at us strange, ashamed. It's useless to have a fit if you don't really feel like it. I reconcile with demons uncomfortable in my skin, and I realize it's over when I look at all these threads. The only barriers inside me, and I knew all about that since day one. Still I would fail to change my ways. I never wanted to rely on you, babe, 'cause you criticized my evidence and you placed me in the wrong hands again. I guess I need a break from all this excitement, and I need a break from you, from you, from you, from you. I never wanted to rely on you, baby, for an artificial happiness, a dependent justification of existence. It's useless to have a bit if you don't even feel like spin. I reconcile with demons uncomfortable in my skin, and I criticized your powers 'cause I wasn't used to them, and I realize it's over when I look at all these threads. The only barriers inside me, and I need a break from all this excitement, and I need a break from you, from you, from you, from you. And it's getting hard 'cause I hesitate so much. I need to always fly right through, right through, right through, right through. Oh, whoa, oh,
Wow, that was Nathan Esch with his original song, Hesitation Beach. You can check out Nathan's band Transcend All Negative Energy on Spotify and all other major streaming platforms. Be sure to follow Tane on Instagram as well. Word on the street is a new album might be coming in 2026, so be on the lookout for that. Well, time to switch gears. The sport of practical shooting began in the 1950s right here in California and soon spread across Europe. It quickly evolved into a formalized sport with scenario-based competitions designed to test shooting techniques in dynamic situations. Steve Miles is a film and TV student here at Saddleback College and is an active member of the Southern California competitive shooting community. Let's meet Steve and find out what practical shooting is really all about. Are you ready? Stand by.
Steve has been competing in practical shooting for almost 10 years and through diligent training and practice has achieved the highest rankings possible in the two most popular shooting sports in the United States. He has achieved the rank of Grandmaster in USPSA, the United States Practical Shooting Association, and Distinguished Master in IDPA, the International Defensive Pistol Association.
There's really two reasons I got into it. First was I took a trip to Europe, to Ukraine, which was a couple months after the Ukrainian Revolution, which the people there ousted their president. So I naively went there by myself. I was just at night sitting there and I had a pedestrian walkway behind me and basically got jumped by a couple guys. And the second reason that I got into it was a mentor. I consider him a mentor, is Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. He said when an economic collapse happens or for some reason, the economy just goes to crap, there are basically 5 G's that you need in order to kind of be okay.
Number one, you'd better have some gold. Second, you better have some ground where you can plant food. Third thing is grub. You got to have food. Fourth thing is gasoline or an EV. And the fifth thing is...
We saw some evidence of this during the COVID-19 pandemic with shortages and panic buying at grocery stores that caused fights over toilet paper. There were also a record number of first-time firearm purchases.
They're concerned that there's going to be a panic that goes beyond when all the grocery stores are empty. They're thinking Venezuela. When all the grocery stores are empty, that people are going to start trying to break into homes.
As a result of those two things, I purchased my first handgun, and I instinctively knew that I needed some kind of training.
Steve then bought a membership to a training facility 60 minutes outside of Las Vegas called Front Sight. There he learned the proper use and respect for firearms as well as self-defense tactics taught by former law enforcement and military personnel.
They really taught me the benefits of tactics, like in self-defense situation, and also dry fire. And that's using your firearm without ammo in the guns. I really honed in on, the use of my gun through dry fire, where I was able to take these tests that they have so you can progress to more higher and complicated classes.
Since there are no outdoor shooting ranges in Orange County open to the public and none within a reasonable driving distance, Steve has had to come up with creative ways to practice that don't require the use of ammunition. One of these ways is with the use of a virtual reality program created for practical shooters. The program mimics real stages, targets, and handguns used in real competitions, but lacks the realistic recoil of a real firearm. Through diligent practice, Steve has been able to compete on the national level. By competing in 4 USPSA national competitions, he was able to earn a spot on the U.S. pistol caliber carbine team that traveled to the Czech Republic to compete on the world stage at the 2025 IPSC PCC World Shoot.
Welcome, USA!
This event is like the Olympics of practical shooting, where over 1,000 competitors from just over 50 countries from around the world came together to compete in a fun and safe environment. Steve and his teammates ended up bringing home a bronze medal in the senior division for the United States. In order to achieve even more success in his sport, Steve is now considering leaving California.
I need a place where I can train that's local and that I can use real ammunition instead of the dry fire that I do and the VR stuff that I do, because the only way for me to be competitive is if I can use real ammo and be able to do the same thing that I do in practice that I do.
Oh, shoot. Well, that was a unique segment to say the least. I certainly learned a lot about competitive shooting. It seems like when mastered and in a safe environment, it is practically an art form. Steve seems to really know his stuff. I could totally see him in an action movie. Well, it looks like we're out of time. I'm your host, Blake Stolba, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. The fishing, the shooting, the guitar playing, talk about a roller coaster. Hope you enjoyed these exciting, unique, and exclusively Cali-based lifestyles. Stay fresh.